where am I? Find me, please. And I was lost for days. We didn't even see each other, in real days. Hello and welcome to XP Over 40. This is our 4th episode and we're going to talk a bit about couple co-op. I grew up with mostly NES and PlayStation 1, but PC was always the most important platform for me. And when I got to PlayStation 2, I kind of forgot a bit about gaming. I had studies and I just took a break from gaming. Mm-hmm. You stayed on consoles a bit longer, or did you?
Yeah, I only really played DOS and Windows 95 games on PC back then. So I wasn't basically a PC gamer that much. I mostly played consoles.
So which consoles did you own?
We had the NES, 8-bit Nintendo, and then the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, and the last one I bought myself was the PlayStation 3.
Okay. I feel like consoles is more of a co-op platform than PC. Not now, but before, when we were younger.
Yeah, I think so, because the consoles, you played on the family TV most often. Or if you were lucky, you had a TV in your room.
I had one.
You had? Okay. Lucky you.
Yes. I was obsessed with watching TV shows at night. So
yeah, and also the consoles usually came with 2 controllers, so you could co-op.
I think the PlayStation 1 we got came with 1 controller.
I'm pretty sure R came with 2, so there were probably different versions.
Anyway.
Yeah, we digress.
Let's just define what we mean by couple co-op. I mean spouses, partners.
The person you live with?
The person you live with, yeah. Something more than friends, though.
Yeah, in a relationship of some sort.
And as I said, I strayed away from gaming for quite a while. And when we met in 2012, when we got together, we started talking about gaming memories and we slowly went back to gaming. But the big shift for us was when we started playing co-op games together on Steam around 2015.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first game we played together?
Could it have been Don't Start Together?
Yes.
Okay.
It must have been.
Must have been, yeah. That was one of the first times I played like a local co-op over LAN. So 2 different PCs.
Yes, it must have been for me too, because when I think back, I really can't remember playing multiplayer games on PC as a teen. I didn't do that.
No, I don't think it was that usual, because the networking between computers was pretty complex and not that easy to configure and figure out. Nowadays, you just connect them together to a router or something and it works, basically. Or even through the internet, which we didn't have back then. So
no, but even when we had internet, I didn't do the multiplayer thing like World of Warcraft or something.
No, me neither, never.
But I was envious at the LANing people.
Yeah, my brother went to a lot of LAN parties, and I always thought it would have been cool to go on one of those, but I didn't have many friends that were into gaming at the time.
No, me neither, and there weren't as many women into it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it was quite a big hassle. It was a party, a big thing to go to, staying awake, eating micro pizzas and just carrying your computers and setting everything up. So quite a big hassle compared to just going on your computer and playing online together.
Yeah, and they could usually be a whole weekend.
Yeah.
So multiple days.
That you had to survive.
and you have the whole computer, and we're talking big computers, like a big box, a big monitor, and all the other stuff. So no laptops.
No.
So I remember my brother packed the whole car full with just the PC.
Yeah. But that's not the co-op that we are going
No.
to talk about this episode. But fun stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a bit about how we got into co-op and our history with gaming. So let's talk a bit about how we actually play together today. How do we play together today?
Well, it actually depends on the game, but usually we play on our computers. I play on mine, you play on yours, and we share a desk. We have a wide desk, so we sit beside each other.
Yeah, we could post a pic on Instagram and Facebook. We sit together.
Yeah, but we have our own computers and our own monitors, so we don't share one screen.
No, and it's mainly PC gaming that we do. We don't do PlayStation or any console.
Not at the moment, no.
No.
We do have a PlayStation 4 that we sometimes bring to the summer house or on vacations or something.
Yeah, I've used it to like look at Netflix or
Mostly.
mostly. I played some Witcher Wild Hunt
Yeah.
on it, but we really don't use it that much.
No.
And we got a little daughter. She's turning 2 this summer. So gaming has changed a bit after she was born. But let's talk about the way we have been gaming before she was born, because we got her late in life. So we had quite a lot of time for gaming.
We usually search for games that we can play co-op over the local network or through the internet, but still same. We usually play some kind of survival building.
Crafting and survival games.
Yeah.
But lately also some simulation games. The categories go like blend together sometimes. So it's hard to say, but I would say our main genre has been crafting and survival.
Yeah.
Because that's been the most fun. You can cooperate in many different ways, and you can go your own ways in certain games and not see each other even.
Yeah, true. In games with big worlds, big maps, you you play together, but you don't see each other in a whole day.
Yeah. I remember one time when I got lost in Ark Survival Evolved.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where I was on the map. And I was like desperate. Where am I? Find me, please. And I was lost for days. We didn't even see each other,
Yeah,
like in real days.
Yeah, because the map doesn't show where you are. So you don't even know where you are yourself. And I didn't know where you were.
I think we got a mod for that later.
Could be.
I think so. Because that was really frustrating.
Yeah, anyway, I looked at your screen sometimes and okay, this could be that part of the map, and somehow we found each other.
Yeah, but that was like a mistake on my part, but I got lost. But sometimes it's just nice to be able to do your own thing in the games. Like one game we've played a lot, except for Don't Starve, is Terraria.
Yeah.
That's another game where you just can be in the other corner of the map and not see each other.
Huge maps.
Yes.
I remember in Terraria when we built our first elevator, which goes from the surface to the bottom of the map.
Awesome stuff.
And every time we tried to go a bit further, the tunnels were filled with lava or water or something.
Someone died and had to spawn back up on the ground.
Yeah, that's the only time we saw each other, when both died at the same time and respawned at the base.
Yes. But that's so fun. It's so it's pointless just digging your way through a map, like vertically and horizontally, just digging and getting the best pickaxe to dig faster. But it's just fun digging even with a slow pickaxe.
Yeah.
Like to get those lines even, and then you put bricks on them so the corruption can't spread through the walls.
And also a lot of spelunking, just finding random stuff.
Yes, getting lost. Oh, look at that. What is that shiny object? oh, look hard, and then you're somewhere entirely different
Yeah.
than you thought. And then in Terraria, you also have the option to fight bosses, but you choose when you do it.
Sometimes they spawn themselves.
Sometimes, yes.
I do remember we accidentally triggered, or I at least did accidentally trigger a boss. You had to rush back from the depths of hell to help me with some boss.
I wonder what boss that was.
Yeah, Skeletron or something.
So that's a good example of a game that you can play in different ways. What way of playing would you say is the most challenging to do as a couple? What part of the game?
I think it's a bit like real life, like marriage, and you have to cooperate and figure things out and discuss. Or if one just goes out and do something, there will usually be consequences in the game somehow, and you have to solve problems together.
Yes, when one goes out unprepared.
Yeah, goes away into the woods without food and weapons and stuff, and the other one has to
And
yeah,
healing.
other one
potions.
has to rush to help.
Yeah. And when you prepare for a boss or haven't prepared enough, when you're not sure of who is doing what during a boss fight.
Yeah, crafting weapons and stuff, and somehow we both have done the same thing instead of doing different things which we need.
I think that's when our marriage gets tested the most.
Explain.
Because some boss fights can be so intense. Like there is this end boss in Terraria called the Moon Lord that you prepare for the whole game.
Yeah.
And you have to do 4 different boss fights before Moon Lord. There's these 4 different pillars spawning across the map, and you do different bosses there. And then you have no time to wait, I think, before Moon Lord spawns. And he's flying across the map.
Yeah, you can teleport.
Yeah, anywhere. And we built this road across the map in the sky of asphalt.
Yeah.
Because that's where you run the fastest.
Yeah, on that surface, yeah.
And I think I got the fastest mounts also, unicorn mounts.
Okay.
At the time, they were really fast. And then we just ran around like 2 crazy people screaming at each other and at
that's the
ourselves.
game.
I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. 1 second counting down before you can
the respawn. That's true. Hectic times.
Yeah.
One thing to point out is that we almost exclusively play PvE. So we don't play against each other. We play on a team. So we're team players.
I wonder what would happen if we actually played against each other. Why haven't we done that?
I feel like this should be the next week's challenge.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know. I really don't get the point because it's so fun to play on the same team because we are on the same team as partners and in life.
And we are not that competitive anyways.
No.
So we are team players anyway. So I think that's why.
Yeah. A big thing is communication.
True.
And I think we communicate quite well.
Yeah, so far.
Do you think co-op gaming is a way for couples to get better at communication? Or does it get worse?
I actually think it could be some kind of, if not therapy, then a test of communication skills. And I think you can benefit from doing co-op games in a couple of situations.
Yeah. And of course, there are couples where someone is on a completely different level than the other.
Skill-wise, or?
Skill-wise, yes. And someone might have better patience than the other.
Yeah, and it depends on the people, of course, on the personalities, how good they are at communicating from the start. If one wants to rush the game, if one wants to build a base for 2 months, it could clash a bit, I think. So
Yeah.
communication is key.
Yes, communication is key. I think if we played on consoles, we would be playing different games than we do now.
How so?
Because I feel like the games that we play are best suited for PC.
Yeah, true. We play PC games that are also ported to consoles.
Yes. Some of them would be playable on console, but I've tried and I didn't enjoy them.
Yeah, I think the hardware is too limited to do what we want from the games.
Probably, yes. So let's sum this up a bit. Co-op requires collaboration, patience, and good communication skills.
True. I also feel there's a different way of co-op gaming.
Okay, let me hear.
I know a lot of people play together, but only one person plays, or you take turns, so the other one watches,
Oh, yes.
like on a TV and a console.
Yeah, so one is the walkthrough reader.
Been there, done that.
Absolutely. My sister was so happy when she got to read all the Tomb Raider 1 walkthroughs that I had printed out on our crappy printer.
I can see that. I remember the big PlayStation cheat code lists printed out. I have to read cross, circle, rectangle, L2, R2, faster.
Yes, but seriously, it can be enjoyable to just watch somebody play and be part of a story.
Yeah, true.
Games can be really different.
And if you think about it, that's basically what to watch someone on YouTube or Twitch game.
Yes.
You can comment, you can join the discussion if it's a live stream.
Yeah,
So basically the same, but you can do it with your partner.
it's true. Both doesn't even have to be gamers.
Exactly.
You can be a good backseat gamer and it can be just as enjoyable.
And also, I think you can game together, but not the same game.
Game together, but not the same game.
Yeah, so you game at the same time. So we can sit here beside each other. I play one game, you play another game. So we play at the same time, but not together, not the same game.
Yes,
But
true.
we are together playing.
Yeah, and we talk
Yeah,
while gaming.
absolutely.
That's true. I never thought of that.
So it's a time spent together.
Yeah. Gaming separately together.
Yeah.
New genre. Okay, so let's talk a bit about when it all goes wrong.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do you have any examples on when you get really annoyed at me?
At you. Well, I have the problem that I usually spend too much time doing stuff, so I can spend a lot of time building a base or crafting something, and you maybe want to progress in the game faster. So you want to pick up the pace, and I'm like a bit slower.
Slower. Yes, you're just putting up like Christmas decorations in the base.
Important stuff.
No, I like a nice base too.
Yeah, but you usually want to progress a bit faster in a game than me.
Yeah, maybe. I think so.
I think it's sometimes that I don't feel like I'm ready in one spot of the game or in one place at that time to progress, or I don't think we have enough good enough armor or good enough weapons or something. So maybe I'm just a bit coward.
Or maybe I'm just a bit impatient sometimes.
Well, maybe both.
Like I believe we can do it, even with
You
the
want
crappy
to
weapons.
believe.
Yes. One example of when I get annoyed is when I'm the only one preparing for boss fights or organizing chests or farming or making potions. Like I'm the organizer that puts everything together to achieve something.
Yeah, and I'm out fishing somewhere in the game. Have happened
Yes,
more than a couple of times.
true. And also when we're supposed to do a quest and you're just gone.
What? When have that ever happened?
Another thing that can be frustrating is when we can't decide what to play and you just say, it doesn't matter, you pick. And I lose the feeling of gaming.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can't decide from the start, it's just getting harder and harder, and you just, should we play at all?
Well, isn't that a bit like a bit of communication as well? You need to communicate better.
You're supposed to know what game I want to play.
Yeah, I see. Okay, I see the theme here. Mind reading.
Oh, and I got another thing.
Okay, yeah, lay them on me.
It's when I'm being polite enough to leave loot for you, and then we just run to the next place and kill some whatever we kill, and you just loot everything, and I'm just standing there. Okay.
So you left stuff out of being polite?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I had no idea.
You share as partners. You share.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll think about that the next time.
So, do you have anything on me?
Well, I think I mentioned it in an earlier episode, but getting lost, maybe.
Lost.
Have happened a couple of times. The thing we're looking for is over here. No, it's over here. It's totally wrong direction.
So let's do this little fun quickfire segment.
Okay.
And you just have to answer quickly.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay. Who dies the most?
I do.
Do you?
I think so.
Maybe.
Maybe,
yes.
I think it's pretty equal, actually.
Who gets annoyed first?
You.
Yeah, me. Who gives the most helpful advice?
You, because you've studied the wiki pages for a month beforehand.
Maybe it's true. Who is the backseat gamer?
I am.
Who says this is easy and then fails? I don't know if we do that.
I can't think.
Do we ever say it's easy? Maybe.
No, I think we always think it's too hard and find it easier than we thought it would be.
Yeah. Who takes the biggest risks?
You.
Who gets emotionally attached to the game?
I think that's you as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Who is more competitive?
You.
Yes. Who would actually survive in a survival game? I think it's you.
I think it's me.
I would just run around.
Just practical stuff, I think.
Yes. So let's reflect for a bit. Why do we still game in our 40s together?
Well, first off, we started pretty young gaming. We were one of the first generations that had games when we were young. And we like gaming. It's fun. It's relaxing. And
I think relaxation is a huge part of it. Because obviously we're both chronically ill and at home, so we got a lot with our health and stuff, and we got our daughter. And in our spare time, we choose what we do with the little time we got, and we choose gaming for some reason. I think the relaxation and the fun, just to think of something completely different, plays a huge part. Yeah,
you get to experience something else, something completely different.
Yes, and it's helped me a lot with anxiety and depression and just mental health. A lot. I've gotten through a lot with games.
And I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's a big part of it, of many people's lives that live with anxiety and mental disorders or mental problems.
Yes, and I had this year with frequent panic attacks, and we used to game us through that, and it helped.
Yeah, because you get to concentrate on something else than yourself.
Yes, some part of your brain deactivates, and you have to think of, or you can't think of your anxiety at the same time that you figure out this stuff going on in your game.
So if we turn it around, what could be the reasons that couples don't play together?
Because they wouldn't be interested in gaming at all.
Yeah.
I think if you haven't gamed in your childhood, it would be less likely that you would start to game as adults. But of course, people might start playing in any age.
Yeah, true. But also, talking about interests, you could have different interests in game types. One like only racing games, and the other only plays shooters or
True, or Stardew Valley, or
yeah,
Counter-Strike.
exactly. Yeah, so it could be really hard to find a game that both likes that would work.
That's true.
Also, the different tolerances for frustration. So if one gets really easily frustrated and the other one doesn't, it could be a bit of a mismatch, I think.
Yes, and if they are on a complete different skill levels, as we talked about before,
Yeah.
could be frustrating.
The skill gap. So if one is a real gamer and the other one is just a newbie and just starting gaming, it could be hard for both. The gamer could find it hard to play it at a slower pace or at a lower level, find it boring, and the new player might find it intimidating and too hard, too difficult.
Yes, because it could be enjoyable to teach another person to play a game, but it's usually different the way you go about it to teach a friend or someone you know is different than how you teach your partner, or at least it would be for me. I would be easily frustrated.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Also, the point of gaming could be different for different people. So one of them could always want to play to win.
Yeah, someone could be competitive
Yeah.
and the other could be just a chill gamer.
Yeah, just want to spend some cozy gaming time. But do you have to game together to share the gaming interest?
No, I don't think so. You could do anything game related
Yeah.
together, like going to a game store, watching a movie that's game themed movie, or collecting games that you don't play.
Yeah.
Anything really.
And you can find like pixel art fascinating.
Yes,
Art, game art.
like I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
I know people that really love game music. So that's more a music thing than a gaming thing.
Yes.
But still.
Yes, any type of fan art and music.
Yeah.
And one could be interested in developing games,
Yeah, true.
and the other a designer.
Yeah.
That's a way you could go together.
Yeah. So like a programmer and a graphic designer even.
I've heard of many couples that create games together and both do different parts.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it.
So in the end, all the chaos and the frustration and the funny moments, it's exactly what makes us keep playing together.
That's very true.
And those fond memories. Many of my best memories are of certain games that we've done something crazy or had a crazy discussion, like in Don't Starve, when just weird stuff happens. And you just say the weirdest stuff you couldn't believe could come out of your mouth.
Yeah, Don't Starve is such a fun game because the creatures all have ridiculous fun names. The situations that happens are just so crazy.
Yes, and you're just so used to everything that you talk like it's you're out of toilet paper or whatever, mundane,
normal stuff.
normal thing. So, frogs, frog rain.
Moose gooses. Yeah.
You really have to play that game to experience it, to
it's
just
crazy.
understand.
So much fun. We can really recommend it. And also a tip, if you buy it, you get a free copy of the game to give to a friend so you can play together.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great thing.
One question I thought of when I was thinking about co-op, couple co-op, why don't we play games on servers with other people? Why are we just isolating ourselves and play just the two of us?
Well, we like each other's company. We do everything else together. So why not the gaming as well? But I think we are somewhat control freaks as well. We want to choose who we play with and what we play and how we play it a bit.
Yes, it's just comfortable
Yeah.
in many ways.
And also, then you'd almost have to play with like headsets or microphones and, well, voice chat.
Because we have one friend that we have played with many times, and it's been really, really
absolutely.
fun.
And it's really fun, but still, it's not like some random game server.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when we've been gaming with other people, it's more about the company and just the game comes in second.
Yeah, just talking and spending time together with friends instead of doing like a phone call or video chat. Just play together and talk at the same time. It's awesome. So how would you say how do we portion the gaming time during a day? How do we get the life puzzle, time puzzle together?
Well, before our daughter, we used to be able to choose when we gamed, and we could start anytime, like during the day, and we could play longer sessions if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's what's missing now. It's more like you just you go in and you're too tired at the time when you get to game, and I feel too tired to
exhausted.
Think about. Yes, so we play really chill games,
laid back.
Yeah,
and also we have to be a bit more quiet when we game nowadays, so no shouting and swearing and cussing.
True. Like the way we used to sit and shout at each other and curse.
No, but at the game. I mean, So now it could be like a 10-20 minute game here and there. And also you have to choose the games that you can play in shorter periods. Like a game you can play in 10-20 minutes instead of 3 hours.
Yes, you need to be able to push pause and...
Yeah, and save anytime and so on.
Yeah, doing missions wouldn't really be possible.
And that's also a reason to not play on servers, because you can't control them at all.
Let's go to last week's Level Up Challenge. So we do a challenge every episode.
Yeah.
And it's, of course, game related. Last episode, we had a challenge, or you had a challenge, that we should both play the same game and see how far we got on one life. Yeah. And you chose
Crash Bandicoot 2 on PlayStation 1. And so we both started at the same... We didn't watch each other play.
No.
So it was fresh. I owned the game back when it came out in the 90s. So I had a bit more experience in the game, but I hadn't played it in a very, very long time. Many, many years. So it was pretty fresh for me too.
Yeah, I had played Crash 1 and 2 at a friend's house, and I owned Crash Bandicoot 3 and Crash Team Racing.
Okay, yeah. So we started at the first level in Crash Bandicoot 2. And how far did you get?
I don't know. I just know that you got like one level further. Maybe I got to the third
or fourth,
level, and you got to the fourth.
Yes, yeah, something like that.
So quite equally crappy.
Yeah, not very good. But that was no surprise for me, at least, for my part.
But then this challenge led me into a Crash Bandicoot rabbit hole, and I've been playing Crash Bandicoot 1 and Crash Team Racing even again. I just got stuck playing.
But they are good games. They're great games.
Yeah.
Nice
I haven't played them all, like the newer games.
There's one on PlayStation 2 that looks the same as the old games, but then the other games looks completely different. Crash is like a different character altogether. Okay. So we picked the challenge for this episode earlier to play a PvP game.
Oh, yes. That's true. Let's do that. That would actually be a great challenge.
Do you have a game in mind?
No, I don't.
Okay. We have to communicate and figure that out.
Yes, I have to do a bit of thinking.
So when you think about gaming in a relationship, what is really happening there? I think a big part of gaming together is, of course, communication.
Yes.
Also learning to deal with conflicts.
Also true.
There could be a lot of small annoying moments like, why did you jump there? And why did you do that? And why is this happening now?
Yes, things you wouldn't say to a friend, or you could say it to a good friend, but just
Yeah.
not to some random
Yeah.
person you're playing with.
So it's like mini versions of real conflicts.
True.
You get to practice and get better on conflict. And also there's usually a lot of management. Like you can choose who builds gear, who collects stuff, who builds the base, do different things that complement each other. And that's the same thing in relationships, I think.
Yeah, I plan and you build in real life too.
Yeah, that's true.
And I come up with the ideas, crazy ideas.
Pretty often, yeah.
You know.
And I figure out how to
And I just,
do them.
does this thing exist? Is it possible to do this? And how do you put together something like that? And you just figure it out for me.
Yeah, well, I like that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you like coming up with interesting ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we complete each other in the game as well as in real life.
In life, yes. Yeah, it's true. The way we game is a reflection of real life too,
Yeah.
how we handle things.
And I think also a game is like a safe zone that you can make mistakes in.
Yes.
You can fail. It's still a game. It's completely harmless if you fail.
Yes,
But
true.
it still feels very, very real somehow.
It does really. When you're in the moment,
Yeah.
it feels like a part of your real life. And that's what I said earlier, that some of my fondest memories of us together has happened in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it sounds crazy.
Well, it's something we do together, so of course it's
Yeah.
true.
Like first time we met Dare Clubs. Don't Starve. A boss. A one-eyed dare that destroyed our base.
Yeah, everything burnt up.
Yes, and we used to build walls around our base, and we were total noobs.
Yep.
We still are.
Very true. I think gaming is a very good way to practice cooperation.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to XP Over 40. Join us in the next episode for more gaming, nostalgia, and crazy gaming stuff. Be sure to check our socials at XP Over 40. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We try to post short, fun stuff between the episodes over there.